mountains of the moon, looming larger and larger ahead. We're nearly there, just moments now.
Those huge mountains. And Cavour, look at the depth of those craters, like the pits of huge extinct volcanoes.
Secure yourself, Bedford. I'll close the last shutter. From this point, we're near enough. The gravity of the moon will now pull our sphere to it, even without the use of our Cavorite. And the pull will be gentle enough that we will just land, not crash. Ready? Shutter closed. 6 seconds now, Bedford, and we'll be on the moon. Hold on. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unlash yourself. You're nearest to that switch. Open that porthole, which is not coated with the Cavorite.
Cavour, it's extraordinary. The landscape, so barren, so desolate, like a great desert.
Yes, and the lunar day is just beginning to dawn. Look at the horizon brighten.
Look, something is popping out of the ground. It looks like a plant. And there, another, and another, all over now.
Amazing. And here, Bedford, watch the gauge of the thermometer attached to the outside surface of the sphere. Look how rapidly it's rising. When we landed, the temperature outside was at least 100 degrees below zero. Now it's soaring to 80 above.
Those are plants out there, Cavour.
Yes.
Look at them grow.
Yes, the lunar day must be so short, and the extremes of the moon temperature so sharp. The plants here must grow a full life cycle within a day. An hour of day here must be at least the equivalent in growing time of a month on Earth. But Bedford, those plants which are literally growing tall before our eyes, you realize what they mean? There is air outside. Oxygen. Oxygen which we can breathe.
You mean we can go out there?
Yes, Bedford. Here, I'll release the switch to open the exit hatch. Be careful outside. The gravity of the moon is weaker than that of the Earth. We'll probably bounce high into the air with each step we take. It'll require careful practice, our walking, if we don't wish to dash ourselves to pieces on the rocks. Ready now?
Right.
Down we go, then. There. The first human foot to touch the surface of the moon. Watch it now. One step. Ah!
Cavour! You're sailing through...
Here, Bedford. Over here. Watch it. Watch it when you step. I sailed at least 30 feet with one step. Careful.
Right. Cavour! It's like bouncing off rubber.
Here. Work your way here. Crawl. Good, Bedford. You're almost in control. Almost in control already. We bounce that way because our bodies are so much lighter here on the surface of the moon than they were on Earth. The weak gravity here.
Cavour, look, the plants around us are already tall as trees.
Yes, they're twisted and grotesque like no plants I've ever seen on Earth. They must be... Wait, Bedford. This is no world for men. The temperature extremes. If we were out here on the moon's surface after the sunset, we should freeze to death. And the oxygen is so thin. You don't feel it yet, but too many days of this air, and your lungs would be burnt to a crisp.
Cavour, where exactly is the sphere? The plants are so high, it's covered by the foliage. Was it there? No, that way?
Hard to say, Bedford. But it can't be far. We haven't come far. Listen.
They're coming this way.
Yes. Bedford, there. Look up at that ridge of rock above those tallest plants. Those huge animals.
Cavour, they look like gigantic bulls and cows. Like
cattle. 18 feet high. And this, here where we stand, must be their pasture. They're headed this way.
And there, what is that? That creature.
It must be a man. A man of the moon. He's definitely herding those huge cattle with that spear of his. Wait, there's another. Small, about 5 feet tall. Compact body. His body made in sections, a little like an insect, like an ant. A shining cylindrical body. Tentacles at the ends of the things that look like arms.
And those dark goggles.
They must keep out the glare of the sun. These moon men must live beneath the surface of the moon.
They're closer now. We might be trampled or seen.
Here, careful. Behind these boulders.
It's too late, Cavor. That one there saw us. Listen, he's signaling to the others.
That strange, high-pitched sound. It must be their voices.
Cavor, they're coming for us. They're fast. Watch it. Cavor, are you all right?
Yes, I think so. How long was I unconscious?
I don't know. I've only been conscious again for an hour. I don't know how long we've been in here, in this subterranean passage. They knocked us out immediately.
These chains on our wrists.
Yes, thin but strong. But I've been working at this weak spot here in mine. I might still be able to break this link before they return. The moon men.
We're in a passage somewhere under the moon's surface.
Wait, listen. Their voices. They're coming for us. Look.
Steady, Bedford. We're helpless. Don't put up a struggle. That one, he must be the leader. He's motioning with his spear to go that way. Follow their orders, Bedford, or...
Right, Cavor. But I think they mean to harm us.
We have to play for time. Come on, let's move. You won't bounce here. The gravity in this passage is strong like that back on Earth. I'll show him we're obeying. We obey you. We will walk ahead of you and your men. He doesn't understand, but our actions are enough to keep him from harming us.
Listen, as we walk, do you hear a noise like machines getting closer?
Yes, Bedford. That does sound like machinery. And it's getting closer fast.
Look! In that huge gate-like opening. An enormous cave. It is machinery.
Keep walking, Bedford. I think I understand that machinery. I've wondered why it's so well lit in these passages, these caves. The power from those machines there somehow manufacture the strange light in these subterranean depths. We must be approaching the place where the moon men live.
Cavor, there. That other cavern. Look, it's a slaughterhouse. Those men are butchering the moon cattle.
The cattle must be the staple item of their food. It is like... Oh!
Here, stop that. Stop pricking him with your spear. Quick, Cavor! I've broken my chain. That way, run! They mean to slaughter us, too. That way, I'm behind you.
Quick, behind this carcass here. The bulk of this dead bull will hide us. We must get away from here before they find us. It won't be long. They're right over there, searching through these dead cattle one by one.
Cavor, up that passage. There. Is that real light?
Bedford, in that crack, it does seem to be daylight.
Yeah, keep close to me. You're still helpless with that chain. Crouch low and crawl fast. Up toward that light.
Right.
Almost there. In a few seconds, we'll be out of it.
Bedford, they've spotted us. Run! They're throwing their spears. I'm behind you.
Surface. We're out of the passages. But look, Cavor. The sun is getting low.
Yes. Which means we must find the sphere soon, or we'll freeze to death. From the position of the sun, I would say the sphere is over that way.
Come on, they're right behind. They'll get us soon.
Right. But we must plan first, Bedford. If either of us gets to the sphere and the other does not arrive by the setting of the sun, the one who is there must sail the sphere back to Earth alone. If the other does not arrive, it will mean that the Moon Men have caught him, or that he is frozen to death in the horrible cold of a lunar night. Agreed?
But Cavour!
No buts. There is no choice. Agreed?
Agreed.
Right. Now let's get going. There's the sound of them. They picked up our trail.
Cavour, where are you? I've found the sphere! Here! Cavour! Oh, the cold is getting intense. Plants are dying all around. Cavour! Cavour, here! Sun. That was the last ray. Cavour! Ooh, it's freezing. Cavour! Cavour! Oh, no use. It's awful, the cold. Cavour! No use. I must get inside. They must have got him. Better. Cold in here, but I'll shove on the heat. Listen, that wind coming up out there. Oh, Cavour, you must be gone. That wind, it's rising. The sphere is shaking in the wind. I might be blown right off the face of the moon. Oh, Cavour, if I could help you. But you must be gone. Dead. I must take off or the sphere might be damaged in the storm. Which shutter? Compass? Huh? Here. Should be the fourth. Switch. On. Oh, the sphere's rising. Oh, God help you back there, Cavour. And that pretty much is the story of our flight to the moon.
You've never again attempted to fly the sphere into space?
No, you see, Professor. The sphere is intact, but the return journey almost exhausted the supply of the gas. The Cavourite. Cavour did not leave behind a full formula for its manufacture. Has Cavour sent any message about the formula of Cavourite?
No, Mr. Bedford. He's mentioned the gas, of course, but he's obviously been reluctant to pass on the formula itself. If the Selenites do pick up his message, they just might...
Selenites?
Yeah, yes, that's the name Cavour applies to the Moon Men. Selenites. Those men that you saw that captured you and Cavour. The herders and butchers. They are described by Cavour as a very primitive tribe of Selenites, nothing more than slaves of a much more intelligent creature who lives deep, deep in the very bowels of the moon.
How deep?
Perhaps 200 miles below the surface of the moon, there is a great sea, an ocean, and around its shores are great cities. The Selenites are an ancient people. Well, actually not people. Cavour's messages have stressed that they are more members of an insect than an animal strain. The ancestors of the Selenites once inhabited the surface of the moon, but perhaps 1,000,000 years ago a cataclysmic solar storm occurred. The Selenites took refuge in the caves and finally the interior of the moon itself. And there they adapted to life beneath the surface. But there is trouble inside the moon, too.
Inside? The air?
Not that. The Selenites have almost exhausted the resources of the moon's interior. They mean to try to colonize the Earth.
Colonize the Earth?
Yes. Now you see why the government will not recognize my work. I do sound mad, don't I? Ah, Bedford, the Selenites possess a very, very advanced technology, according to Cavour. Within years, they hope to fly themselves to Earth.
Professor, their technology must be very far advanced. Those machines I saw near the caves of the moon butchers.
Yes, but according to Cavour's messages, those machines are child's playthings compared to others deeper in the moon. Frankly, Bedford, the latest messages reveal that Cavour is in danger. As advanced as the Selenites are, they have not yet found a fuel, a gas like Cavorite, to power a ship from the moon to the Earth. That's why they have kept Cavour a prisoner. They have given him a laboratory in which to redevelop Cavorite. But he's delayed for more time. He's told them that he is hampered in his work by the differences in the composition of certain minerals on the moon from those found on Earth. He must have developed his wireless from equipment which they provided to him for his laboratory.
Is the danger to him immediate?
Well, Bedford, I've told you this much. I might as well tell you everything at once. For these last 3 years, he has not been in immediate danger. The Selenites have wanted the formula for Cavorite too much to even torture him. But they got onto his messages from the moon a few weeks ago. That was when the interruptions, the jamming started.
Do they understand him?
Maybe. He has learned Selenite. They have learned English. Perhaps they have broken his code and have been waiting for him to transmit the formula in one of his messages. But
what, Professor?
Well, early in his stay with the Selenites, Cavour had no suspicions of them. Their advanced science fascinated him. He thought only of the good which could come from contact between the Selenites and the people of the Earth. It was only later that he discovered they meant to conquer the Earth, destroy all who live here, and colonize our planet.
Destroy?
Yes, and Cavour is worried that if they get the Cavorite, well, you see, the Selenites are so much advanced over us. Cavour describes weapons of theirs which could wipe out all the armies of the Earth within hours. And the Selenites do not have any sort of emotions. They would not hesitate at anything. Their moon is dying on them.
Do they know we, here on Earth, are not as advanced as they?
Yes, Bedford. Unfortunately, Cavour revealed that in those early days he spent up there, when he still trusted them. He told them how puny even the most modern of our cannons and battleships would be against him. Only the other night he commented that he was a fool to have told them so much.
The danger to him. You say he hasn't mentioned it as immediate.
No, not exactly. He doesn't take the time. But I think something could happen to him at any time. If the Selenites suspect that Cavour's messages are getting through, if they have broken his code, they might kill him at once. After all, they must feel, as advanced as they are, that they will find Cavorite or something like it soon. Better Cavour dead with no knowledge of on Earth that there are Selenites, potential destroyers of the Earth, out there. They would want... Bedford, the scanner. Cavour is sending again. Quick!
Can you translate?
Yes. No time for notes on this one. He is in trouble. Quiet. I'll translate as it comes in. I was a fool for telling them so much. They must silence me. They fear I am reaching the Earth. I think they will come for me tonight. They have not broken my code. The formula for Cavorite must not be lost. If anyone on Earth is receiving my message, be careful in taking this. The formula for Cavorite is take 1 part helium, no use. They are here. They are beating down the door. I was a fool to tell them so much. Useless.
Professor, did they...
Bedford, they just seized him.
Oh.
There, on the moon.
What can we...
Do nothing. They probably kill him, Bedford, and we are helpless. If we had only found each other before this, we might have found something, done something, for the loss to science, to the world. He was such a brilliant man.
Yes, and a brave one, too. At least they didn't get the formula for the Cavorite.
But, Mr. Bedford, it is a terrifying thing to think that they, the Selenites,
are out there watching us, waiting, planning, and that we here on Earth are so far behind them. Well, Redford, I think that brandy I suggested before is in order. And then I think we had better see about arranging for you to stay here with me. We must sort out these past messages from Cavor. Somehow we must publish them and make the world believe that they are true. The Earth one day will be in danger from the moon, and that we must be ready.
We'll try, Professor. I don't know that they'll believe. But just a moment, please. Out this window here. Look at it. The moon. And in it, perhaps Cavor just died. I wonder where it took place. One of the passages near the surface? Those insect selenites grasping him in their tentacles. Cavor struggling desperately, perhaps at last even fighting, and being pressed on and on, step by step, forevermore into the unknown, into the dark, into a silence that has no end. Oh, Cavor.